Yes, my favorite stand, Sans. A Universal Time, or better referred to as AUT, is a Roblox JoJo game that pushes the phrase, as long as you kill Diavolo, it's canon, to a whole nother level, because not only does it have canon stands from the series, it also has universal abilities, and universal abilities are abilities from other series, such as Gojo, Ben 10, and Goku. So if your friend asks, can he beat Goku though, and you've seen Golden Experience Requiem beat a Goku in a Universal Time, you can say, yes, Golden Experience Requiem can beat Goku. But now I'm getting sidetracked, alright. The point of today's video is to discuss, is this game good? I'm going to be splitting this review up in two different aspects, the grinding in the game and the combat. So, let's begin. Let's start off with the grinding. It's not hard to get a stand in a Universal Time, or at least not a basic stand. And if you're lucky and search chests, you can get a few universal abilities off the bat as well. However, although it has become a little bit easier, it's quite difficult to get stuff in public servers, which isn't really the game's fault, but just something I want to note. But after getting your basic stand, grinding is beyond terrible. Why, you may ask? Well, first, the tutorial NPC doesn't do jack. I hardly understood anything it's saying, and I feel like they could make a better tutorial. And what's even worse is that to actually know how to get what you want and how to play the game properly, you have to go to the Trello. You should be able to have at least some semblance on how to get what you want without a third-party source. So the lack of information at the start of the game is something I have a huge problem with. The other reason why the grind sucks is this. They make these quests that are easy to do on paper, but take so freaking long. It's just not fun to do. I get it that they want people to get into PvP and fight others, but it just impels people to use Tiny Task on a dummy. So then here's my suggestion on how to make the grinding better. Lower the damage needed, the cost for things needed, and all other requirements involving wasting massive amounts of time for quests. Nobody wants to drain 2,500 blood from people, it's just not fun. Alright guys, what's up? I have 2,025 blood out of 2,500, right? Now, well, let's say I want to do a blood suck, so... Alright, so let's say I use blood suck. I got, like, 45 blood only. Like, what? However, the way the grind works can be changed. For example, let's say you are doing a quest and you have to deal 2,500 damage to get a better stand. If you attack an actual player, you get the full damage added to your quest bar. But if you attack a dummy, you'll only get around 25% or 50%. See, this way, players would actually be motivated to fight other players and to engage in PvP. Not just making incredibly tedious quests that really nobody wants to do. For stands, they might just get bored of after a few days. So the grind sucks. There's no way else I can put it, but I believe it can be changed to be better in the future. Now, let's talk about the PvP aspect of the game. They don't tell you the keybinds of your moves, so once again, you have to either mash all the buttons and figure out which moves belong to which keys, or you have to just search it up. But while I don't like the grinding part of the game, I do kind of like the PvP aspect of it. Now, the game is kind of unbalanced. For example, while writing this script, I took a break to play the main game of AUT, right? And there was this really annoying TWO user following me and attacking me. If you don't know what TWO is, it's the world over heaven. I was beating him, mind you, he was at red health and I had more than half of my HP. He lands one time stop and he combos me and I lose that fight because his time stop lasts so freaking long. Like, that's not fun. It's just not. However, I will say this, unless you are up against some annoyingly toxic person or stand, the PvP is pretty fun. Even standless is fun. You can actually win fights with standless, although it will be hard. But it's there. But sometimes, you get a stand matchup that you cannot do anything about. No matter how much skill you possess, you quite literally cannot win. For example, Sans versus the world over heaven. The world over heaven has like a 10-second time stop, and while they do reduce the damage in time stop, they don't do reduce damage to your dodge bar in time stop. So every time that the world over heaven uses time stop, you practically die. And you have two options if you are Sans at that point. Jump with Bone Leap and hope he has good Wi-Fi and registers you used Bone Leap, because if the server has latency and you jump right when he uses time stop, for him, he might still see that you're on the ground, which sucks, because then you'll die. Or kill him before he uses Time Stomp. But here's the problem with that. The World Over Heaven has 475 HP, and he has a healing move that gives him 50 HP, and Sans' most damage dealing move does around 46 damage. But I do understand that the game just came out, and they can improve on these mechanics. However, I have to judge it for what it is right now, and right now it's not the greatest. Not as bad as grinding, the PvP it's not that bad, but if you get a bad matchup, you cannot win, it's really annoying. Now, the reason why I didn't mention how the game looks is this. The game looks really nice, but if the game isn't good, the visuals don't matter. Not saying that A Universal Time is bad, I like to play the game casually, but grinding-wise, it's pretty boring, and half the people in 1v1s just run away from you and wait for Time Stop or do the same boring combo that drains half your HP and once again run till they're off cooldowns. Now, that being said, I definitely believe the game can be improved on, and I understand things can be fixed as the game has just came out a while ago. Feel free to subscribe if you don't want to, that's completely up to you, and please let me know what you think about the game. So, thank you for watching and have a good day.